Boom shakalaka, a huge day for Bitcoin. Could we have a new all-time high before the halving? You definitely want to stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including could we have a new all-time high before the halving in less than 2 months? Oh my goodness, you gotta stay tuned. Before we get into it guys, like the video, helps out so much. Come join us over on Twitter at the Crypto Love, where we share all of today's charts. Now, today, fear and greed 79, extreme greed up from yesterday's regular greed at 72. The overall market up 9% today. Yowza. Bitcoin at 56,580, Ethereum at 32.57, BNB at 398, Solana 111, XRP 56 cents, Cardano 62 cents, Avalanche $39, and Dogecoin 9 cents. And Bitcoin, after being in this channel for 10 days, has broken out of there massively, all the way up to almost 57 and change. Well, we could be heading a lot higher, very, very close to previous all-time highs. Now, if we take a look here, it's official. The new 9 Bitcoin ETFs has broken all-time volume record with $2.4 billion today, just barely beating day one, but about double their recent daily average. How about that? There is a lot of demand for Bitcoin, institutional demand. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin whales are going parabolic. Look at this. In just the last month, over 150 new Bitcoin addresses holding more than 1,000 Bitcoin have been created. This is massive. We see the demand here. Well, here, the supply is decreasing as well by a lot. Now, what does this mean? Well, first thing it means is there is minimal volume overhead, which means that price can go up very, very quickly to previous all-time highs. There's no resistance up there. It could just keep on going and going and going. And if we take a look at the realized cap hodl waves, the bull market is starting to get heated up, starting to tick upwards. Not anywhere near the top, no way, but starting to heat up. If we take a look right here, Bitcoin cycle levels is still very close to the bottom, and yet we're almost at a previous all-time high, and yet we're still just at the bottom right now. Now, Chinese 10-year, once again, predicted it almost perfectly when these signals went off. Well, yeah, that pretty much set the bottom for Bitcoin. We're still pretty far away from the top for Bitcoin, and right now we have just entered golden bull territory with the RSI above 70. This historically has been all up territory for Bitcoin. There was some question whether we had a mid-cycle top or entering the parabola. It appears like everything is saying we are entering the parabola right now. We have a breakout of this bullish megaphone pattern. If Bitcoin maintains its position above 50,000, could be on its rally to $60,000 very, very soon. We're already halfway there. As a matter of fact, recently, Bitcoin broke above the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, which has a target of $150,000 for Bitcoin. Could be headed there very, very soon. And it may even happen sooner than anyone expects. Could even happen before the next halving. Now, if we have the ETF approval left shifted to be the time that previous halvings hit, look at how close we are to the parabolic run-up coming. This could be, we could see a very, very sharp run-up before the halving happens, just based on previous cycle pumps. You can see these black dots here were all-time highs. It's very, very likely that based on history, just left shifting the ETF approval instead of the halving, because you have to think this was a big news event, we could start to see new all-time highs about 2 weeks to a month before the next halving, which would be in the next month or so. Very interesting to see. Bitcoin has broken long-term resistance, and we can see the chart looks very strong. Could likely surge to 60,000 very soon, and then in the next years, 100,000, 250 to $300,000. And the best chart yet. Look at this. Right now, Bitcoin's only 17% off from all-time high at today's high. In the last cycle in 2020, back here, it only spent 3 weeks to reach the previous all-time high and 5 weeks to pass it. You can see that right here. 3 weeks to hit the previous all-time high, 5 weeks to pass it. Well, guess what? If it does the same thing right now, we could see Bitcoin at $69,000, way to go Bitcoin, in March, and passing it in April of this year, at or before the halving. Bull run can move real fast. FOMO, I would not be surprised, especially when we take a look at this minimal oversupply. I would not be surprised if it could even do it in a couple days. But we'll kind of have to see how this thing turns out. So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, push the like button. Come join us on Twitter. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.